Well, to look at preparations ahead of the Bayelsa governorship election, we're joined by Dr. Obasanmi Jude, South representative, Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room. Thank you very much for giving us your time. We know it's a little late. Let's just get to it. We just heard the security angle of things, that they are set and they are ready to go. What is the current assessment from your Situation Room as to the preparedness for the elections come Saturday?
All right. Thank you very much. And good evening, viewers. From my own angle, the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room, we have deployed a lot of observers who have been sent to the various wards in the state. And as this evening, the report we are getting is that we have a lot of security presence in the state. And arising from the conversations we had earlier today, where the DIG told us about their preparedness, we just hope and pray that this level of preparedness will actually come into positive limelight, hopefully on Saturday. Because for some of us, this is not the first time we are hearing of police preparedness, show of force, and many more. But we believe that this time around, let's try to see how we can, change the narrative and have a free, fair, and credible elections where, if possible, there will be the least level of a crisis, conflict, and even death. That is our prayer. But I want to leverage on what the DIG said today, that they are prepared to deal with, in its words, deal with anybody who decides to take the law into his hands. And the interesting part was when he now mentioned that any security officer who decides to go with his principal, we have himself to blame, because according to him, that is prepared, the force is prepared to deal with any officer who fails to operate within the provision of the law.
Okay, security on the one hand seems to be, having security is important, but from your experience over the years covering elections in Bayelsa and other states in the country, has the show of force, the presence of police impacted on voter participation? Is it going to be a plus? Do you think it will encourage people to come out, or it will frighten people to come out and vote on Saturday?
Okay, it has a two-way traffic. One, like in interaction with some stakeholders earlier today, some of them said that a show of force will make some of them to be scared to come out. Another said that if the police can guarantee them, maybe with a show of force, whereby they now make some parade around the town, okay, that means that come on Saturday, that the atmosphere will continue for them to go and vote. But the fundamental issue, like I always say, is not this issue of a show of force. What is the extent of you applying that show of your force in a civil manner in such a way that people are not unjustly hurt? So the show of force has two ways, but I still believe that if it is done in much more civil way, whereby they just go ahead to do their parade, that will help. But however, it is more than just show of force. What is the level of preparedness as per conscientizing those in the suburbs, particularly those in the waterlands? I think I'm right. Those in other areas that they cannot go there to go and show their force. Are they convinced that those areas will not be able to do otherwise? So show of force is just, for me, I don't want to say it's ceremonial, but I just pray that maybe that might help people, to convince themselves that yes, the state is prepared to secure their lives. Like when we observed the last election in one state, a similar show of force took place. But we are surprised, because of the election during the day, there was a major violence in an area where this parade took place. So based on that, some of us now concluded that this show of force is more or less ceremonial. But
all right, the mention you made of the terrain in Bayelsa State, there are areas where you have to go by boat. There are areas that are difficult to assess. From all your observation, do you think that INEC, the assurances, let me just put it this way, what is your level of confidence in INEC's preparedness for this election on Saturday in Bayelsa?
Okay, thank you very much. Like earlier today, too, we interacted with the INEC chair, resident electoral commissioner, and I raised the fundamental question in terms of the level of their of them ensuring that there are no crises, and this issue of materials, getting to the polling unit, because we realize that the fundamental reason why we normally have crises at these polling units is when materials don't appear, or maybe there's a kind of maneuver in terms of how results are entered. But we got that assurance that they are put in place at their own end. All the materials are ready, and as this afternoon, if I left the central bank, that they've already started deployment of such sensitive materials. So I want to believe that based on what has happened in previous election, that they are much more prepared, to ensure that the needful is done. So I have some level of confidence in what Barrister Efanga, told us this afternoon. And based on what we also saw at the central bank, we saw people from Southern Georgia, I think I'm right, that came here, to pick their materials. We also saw political parties their agents were available to confirm that these materials are actually in order and that they are going to the right location. So I have no reason whatsoever to doubt their level of preparedness. And here, fundamentally, we have them about availability of funds, because it's critical. Because when you do not pay these officers, the adult staff, or whoever that's involved in it, there's this tendency for them to do otherwise. But we got the assurances that all of them, their funds are available, and there will not be a case of where people are unable to.
We certainly hope that your confidence in the things that they have said will come to play this time around. We have a history in this country just from the recently concluded elections. So fingers crossed. But before we let you go, I'd like you to, what would be a specific message that the Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room would like to share with Bayelsans as they prepare to go to the polls to give them that confidence to come out that their vote would count?
Okay, what I want to say is that from our own perspective, we believe in one Nigeria. We believe that the 2022 Electoral Act, though it has some limitations, and if you put into effective use, even with these limitations, we can have a better election. We have been promised that the beavers will be in good use. We have been promised that all the materials are available. So our own call now to Bayelsans is for us to come out, be civil enough, go ahead and cast your vote. Try to see how you can avoid, case of violence or you getting yourself involved in crisis. Because one, like in the campaign we had earlier this week, we told our people, these political gladiators, they know how they interact. If you go to the field, you get yourself involved in a fight, you are injured or you are killed. In fact, even when they say they want to observe a minute silence, it might not be up to 30 seconds. So why must you go out and kill yourself?
All right, Doctor, thank you very much.
Tomorrow on Saturday will be peaceful for all of us.
I'm sorry, that's the much time we have. Thank you, Dr. Obasanmi Jude, for speaking with us.